Namaste, welcome to Hatha Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Grab a couple of yoga blocks and a strap, and let's begin in Sukhasana, which means easy pose. And that's where you set your thighs to turn out in front of you, cross the ankles about midway if you can. You might find it helpful to sit on a prop like a folded blanket or a pillow or a block if you notice that your back tends to round. So you want to lift the spine, ground the two sitting bones, set your hands any way that you can just begin to connect more to your physical body. So I wanted to share a reading from the ancient text of Hatha Yoga Pradipika, which is one of the main writings or literature that explains how to practice Hatha Yoga. And this excerpt talks about pranayama, as we define as breathing techniques. So we're going to focus quite a bit on those today. It says, most people think of pranayama as breathing exercises, but it is far more. Ayama literally means dimension. So pranayama is practiced in order to expand the dimensions of prana within you. You might remember that prana means life force energy. Within us are planes of existence, areas of consciousness, which are an absolute darkness. These planes are much more beautiful and creative than the ones we live on now. However, how are we going to penetrate and illuminate them? It is useless to talk about the different stages of consciousness. You must be able to experience them, even as you experience the state of dreams or sleep. When the pranic energy is aroused and awakened through the practice of pranayama, it is circulated to these dark areas of consciousness. Then the inner city is illuminated and the human is reborn into a new dimension of existence, a new area of experience. I love this angle that pranayama is not just breathing control or breathing techniques. It's a doorway into the parts of our consciousness that we may not normally use or even live in or be aware of. So let's begin the practice, sitting tall, maybe closing the eyes, letting your body be still. With that, begin to scan your feet, your legs, slowly throughout your whole physical body, noticing whatever sensations are present. And so through this, gather your physical state of being, beginning your practice. Now bring your attention to the sensations of the breath as it's naturally flowing. No need to change it. Become more aware of the depth of your natural breath, its fluidity or non-fluidity, its textures, sort of say. And so through this, notice your energetic state of being. Now tune into your mind. What is your attention drawn to? Is that attention jumping from one thing to another? Does it feel pretty steady, calm, restless, active? Even notice the content of your thoughts and how that affects the way you're feeling emotionally. So gauging your mental and emotional state. Now begin to tune into some thought of gratitude, anything that you can appreciate right now. Maybe place your hands at the heart center. Begin to clarify one thing you would like to focus your attention and energy on through this practice of yoga. Maybe it's a quality of curiosity, of playful curiosity, as we might use the breathing techniques from the perspective of opening up darker areas of consciousness. Then after setting your intention, call to mind someone that you care about, or a community or a cause, and invite you to dedicate today's practice to them. Let's prepare to chant together, creating resonance as we practice in community by chanting 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. Invite you to continue breathing with the lips closed. So inhale, exhale through the nose, and place your hands along the bottom left and right sides of your rib cage. Breathing in slowly, invite the belly and your rib cage to gently expand as you sit tall, relax the shoulders, and breathing out slowly, close the lips and empty it just as long through the nose. So I'm going to count to 5 as you breathe in, to 5 as you breathe out, focusing on that balanced length and depth of in and out breath. So empty this breath out. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue counting. Inhale, 5. And at your own pace, exhale, 5 a few more times. So now that we're getting a rhythm to the breath and the feeling of fully expanding, fully exhaling, equal in, equal out, I invite you to a practice that's a bit more energizing. It helps to cleanse the lungs, enliven the lungs, and clear the mind and steady it. It's called bellows breath or Bhastrika Pranayama. So we're going to enter a more brisk pace, one that you can sustain, of deeply inhaling like your belly is filling up, and exhaling. So you can start and stop for a moment for practice. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute in just a moment. You can continue to place your hands where they are or add a physical action or kriya that goes along with a pranayama, making it more energizing. And that's bending your elbows apart to the height of your relaxed shoulders as you fist your hands. Then as you inhale, raise your arms straight up, spread the fingers, and as you exhale, rebend your elbows and refist the hands like this. You might close your eyes and steady your gaze inward towards your pineal gland or third eye center, middle of the forehead, to help focus. All right, choose what you're going to do with your arms and prepare to start 1 minute of bellows breath. Ready? Begin. Making sure the lips are closed. And relax, breathe naturally for a moment as you pause and observe how you feel after that breath work. As you continue to breathe with the lips closed, I invite you into another breathing technique, which will bring us into our physical postures and movements. And that's victorious breathing, or Ujjayi Pranayama. So softly narrow the back of your throat and sustain your breath evenly in and out through your nose, creating a soft, smooth whispering sound. Listen to that sound here as you're sitting down and cultivate a feeling of calm and balance as you balance inhale and exhale, and focus, a steadiness. Listen to those qualities in your breath and see if you can keep them going through much of this physical or asana yoga. And with that, I invite you to come down to your hands and knees, all fours, preparing to move the spine and flexion and extension to the sound of your breath. Vidalasana, cat-cow pose. So as you breathe in, glide your chest forward and roll your shoulders behind you, looking up. This is cow pose. As you breathe out, contract your abdomen, dropping your head, tucking your tailbone to round in cat pose. Again, inhale, go as slowly as the breath to reach the top of cow pose. And exhale, initiate with a breath. Empty it fully as you round the back in cat pose. Take a few more cycles on your own. Slowly regulating the breath and the movement. Feel how your pelvis tilts forward and tilts back. Feel the movement of your shoulder blades, spreading apart as you round the back and drawing together as you look up and lift the chest. Finish a couple more cycles at your own pace. And at the end of the next exhalation, with your feet hips width apart, tuck your toes and lift your hips into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Spend the first few breaths there, shifting your body around in any way you may need to move and loosen up. Opening up the backs of the legs, you might pedal your feet slowly in place. Relaxing your neck, you might gently shake and nod your head a few times. Make sure that you're stabilizing your weight throughout spread fingers, and that your index fingers are either pointing straight ahead, parallel to each other, or slightly turned out. Open up space throughout your neck by completely dropping your skull and softening the back of your neck. Then open up space across your shoulder blades by keeping your hands still as you rotate your triceps or outer upper arms towards the floor. Lifting the shoulders up, lifting the hips up. You might bend the knees to find the fullest length of your spine. Press your sitting bones back and hug your front ribs inward towards your back. Then root your heels deeper and deeper towards the earth, even if they don't touch the ground. See that your feet are parallel to each other and hips width apart. Keep lengthening the tailbone up and back, crown of the head down and forward, as you lengthen strongly through the arms and fingers. Now land your gaze on one spot. This is called steadying your drishti. As you listen to 3 more slow, balanced breaths through the nose, creating a soft ocean wave sound. When you finish your third exhale, walk up to the front of your mat to stand in a forward fold. Separating the feet still hips distance or wider apart, parallel to each other. Bend your knees as much as you need so that you can easily drop your head, relax the neck, not feel tension in the back of your body. And you might even hold opposite elbows and begin to gently sway your spine side to side. You might choose to clasp your hands behind your lower back and stretch the arms forward, opening the front of your shoulders. You might even straighten one leg a little bit and lean towards it to deepen the stretch in your hamstring or calf. And then switch sides. Notice the sound of your breathing here. Keep that even rhythm going. Maybe switch the interlacing of your thumb and index finger on top. And then drop your fingertips to land either on blocks in front of your feet or the ground ahead, or your shins or thighs. Press firmly with your fingertips so that you can create some resistance or traction while inhaling to stretch your spine forward, parallel to the floor. Engage the abdomen. Glide the shoulders back, tilt your weight forward. Then exhale, bow towards your legs again in Uttanasana. Let's try that to the breath a couple more times. Press with your hands and inhale, draw your chest through your upper arms, lengthening the sides of your torso, sides of your neck. Exhale, fold from your hips, dropping your head completely, Uttanasana. Once more, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, tilting your weight towards the fronts of your heels. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. This time, press down firmly with your feet, maybe bend the knees, and inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising all the way to stand. Find a gentle back bend in this variation of Urdhva Hastasana for a few breaths. By rolling the shoulders behind your ears and pressing them down as you gaze up, lifting the chest. Be mindful not to overarch the lower back here, so anchor the tailbone downward towards the ground between your heels and seal in the bottom of your front ribs. Take another deep breath, standing tall. Exhale, join your palms in front of your sternum, a variation of mountain pose called Padasana. Now remember your intention you set for your practice. Feel it in the way you're breathing and how you'll move your body to your breath, starting our sun salutations. The first round, Surya Namaskar. As you inhale, sweep your arms forward, and again, Urdhva Hastasana with a back bend. This time, exhale, bow from your hips. You might bend the knees, Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips on the ground or blocks. Inhale, step the left knee behind you and look up, Anjaneyasana, kneeling lunge. As you hold your breath, step into your version of plank, legs straight or knees on the ground. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin. So this is a back bend called Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide your belly to the ground, root the tops of your feet, and coil your chest up into Cobra. Tuck your toes and exhale, lift your pelvis back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb, lower your back knee and look up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, Urdhva Hastasana, back bend. Exhale, Padasana. One more of this series, second side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, back bending. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, right knee, step it back, look up. Hold your breath and step into plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, sticking the tailbone up. Inhale, slither to the ground in Cobra or Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift back to downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb, lower your back knee, look up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, Urdhva Hastasana with back bend. Exhale, Padasana, hands at your hearts. Let's move on to our next sun salutation series. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, back bend again. Exhale, Uttanasana. This time, press with your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step back to your version of plank, firming in the belly. Exhale, glide forward. Bend your elbows to hug your ribs, 90-degree bend, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower for Cobra again, or flip the toes here into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Let's meet in downward facing dog. This time, With your body still, steady the gaze and count 3 full breaths. When you finish your 3rd exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, press with your fingertips, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Press with your feet. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana with back bend. Exhale, Padasana. Once more, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Step to plank, glide forward to lower, or lightly jump into Chaturanga Dandasana. Choose Cobra or Upward Dog again. And hold still in Downward Dog for 3 deep breaths. In Downward Facing Dog, keep your hands where they are and bring your feet together to touch. Keep your hips leveled in height and inhale, raise your right leg behind you. As you exhale, step the right foot gently between your hands, spinning the left heel down. Align your right heel to the arch of your left foot. Place a block to the right side of your right calf, then cartwheel your arms apart into Warrior Two. With arms wide open, steady your gaze on one spot just past your right hand as we stay here for the next 5 breaths or so. Bending your right knee, stack it just above your right heel. You might bend it towards 90 degrees if you're looking for more rigor. Firm the outer edge of your left foot into the floor as you're internally rotating the left leg slightly. Rotate your right outer hip under your body so that right knee opens out towards the right pinky toe while firming the top of your left thigh bone back, stacking your shoulders right above your hips. Let's listen to a couple more breaths here. In Virabhadrasana 2. Moving on to triangle pose, straighten your right leg and glide your pelvis sideways towards the rear edge of your mat while reaching your right hand past your right knee towards the front wall. Place your right hand on the right side of your right shin, and that's what you might use the block for, right up against the leg. You can decide how high or low to place the right hand, making sure that this right side of your torso is not being compressed. Press the crease of your right hip back towards your left outer foot while lengthening your spine and crown towards the front wall. Relax the shoulder blades down your back ribs and rotate your chest slightly to face the sky, steadying your gaze past the left thumb, if that feels okay on your neck. Otherwise, choose a spot. Stack your shoulders and wrists in one straight line. And let's listen to a few more breaths in this posture called Trikonasana, triangle pose. Gaze down at your right foot. On an exhale, plant your hands and step into Downward Facing Dog. Downward Facing Dog again. Bring your feet to touch. Inhale, raise your left leg, keeping your hips leveled. Exhale, softly step the foot right between your hands, spinning the right heel down. Align your left heel to the arch of your right foot. Have a block to the left of your left calf. Then cartwheel your arms to rise. Warrior Two. Right away, land your eyes just past your left hand. Steady your breathing. Bend your left knee just above the left heel, maybe towards 90 degrees. Firm the outer edge of your right foot into the ground. Rotate your left sitting bone underneath you, opening the left knee towards your left pinky toe, while firming the top of your right thigh bone back. Find the most vertical position for your spine by stacking your shoulders right above your hips. A few more breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Let's transition to triangle pose. Straighten your left leg. Glide your pelvis sideways towards the back of your mat, and reach horizontally forward with the left hand before placing it on the left side of your left shin. If you're using a block or placing the hand on the floor, make contact between your left arm and left leg. Firm them into each other to help you balance as you're turning your chest slightly to face the sky. Find length throughout the left and right sides of your torso here by pressing the crease of your left hip back towards your outer right foot while lengthening your spine and crown forward towards the front wall. Find space in the neck by sending the shoulder blades down your back. Steadying your gaze, let's listen to a few more breaths in Trikonasana. Gaze down at your left foot, and this time plant your hands towards the top of your mat and step forward to fold, bringing your feet together so that they touch. We're going to enter our next sun salutation series, but first, sweep the arms overhead, inhale to rise. Join your hands at your heart and empty this breath slowly. Let's continue moving to the breath. Bend your knees together to touch, and inhale, sit low in chair pose, Utkatasana, gliding your shin bones back. Exhale, shift your weight forward and hinge from your hips, Uttanasana. Press with your fingertips, inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Walk to plank and lower or float lightly to Chaturanga. Continue on to your Vinyasa, Cobra or Upward Dog, to Downward Facing. Once there, inhale, raise your right leg behind you, keeping the hips leveled. Exhale the foot beside your right thumb, spinning the back heel down, face forward. Inhale, rise to Warrior One. As you exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. Take it all the way through on your own. Back to Downward Facing Dog. When you arrive at downward, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale the foot beside your left thumb and drop your right heel. Facing forward, inhale, rise up to Warrior One. Ride your exhale down to finish your Vinyasa again. Downward Facing Dog. Still your body, steady your breath, steady your gaze. 3 breaths. Notice the quality of your breathing. Continue to use Ujjayi Pranayama. When you finish your 3rd exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Feet touching. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees to touch. Inhale, sit low in Utkatasana. Exhale, rise to Padasana. One more time, same sun salutation. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to lower or float to Chaturanga. Finish your Vinyasa. When you arrive at Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale your foot beside your right thumb, spin your back heel down. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower, finishing your Vinyasa. At Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale your foot beside your left thumb and drop your right heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Vinyasa. Once more, pause in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Steady gaze, steady breath, steady body for 3 cycles of breath. After the 3rd, walk or float to the top. Feet touching, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees to touch. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Padasana. Staying in Tadasana or Padasana, hands together at the heart and mountain. Shift your weight onto your left foot and steady your gaze on one spot just in front of you. Let's balance in tree pose. Rotate your right thigh externally at the hip and hug the sole of your right foot firmly against your inner left ankle with toes on the floor, or inner calf or inner thigh. Just make sure you're not pressing against your inner knee. As you press against your standing leg, press the standing leg back against the lifted foot, and that creates the sandwiching energy of stability. Root down through the four corners of your left foot. So spread your toes and spread your weight throughout your big toe, pinky toe, inner outer heel. And lift the rebounding energy up to lengthen through your spine, to your crown, relaxing the shoulders. How's the breath? If you're feeling pretty stable, it's not wobbly, then you might raise your arms, which adds more challenge. You might raise your gaze or close your eyes. If it's feeling kind of wobbly, maybe you stay with your toes on the ground and your foot against your ankle until you feel more stable to add on, or stay there altogether. A few more breaths in Vrikshasana, tree pose. How are you using Pranayama to support you here in cultivating balance? Rejoining your hands at your heart, rejoin your right foot to the ground, and pause. Take a moment to observe what came up for you during that pose. Shift your weight onto your right foot and now externally rotate your left thigh at the hip. Start with the toes on the ground, foot against the inner ankle. Press in towards your midline. If that feels stable enough, then maybe slide to your inner calf, or not. Maybe slide to the inner thigh, or not, all right? These are all options for you to explore and use your discernment with. You feel a sense of union between your body, your breathing, and what you're focusing on. Inviting that state of yoga. Few more breaths here in Vrikshasana. Join your hands at your heart and step your left foot next to the right. Pause and be with what you're feeling in this moment, whatever that feeling may be. Offering yourself any kind words of reassurance or gestures of loving kindness. Back to the breath. Separate your feet a little wider than hips distance apart. We're going to continue with our turn out of the hips here. So from the hip sockets, externally rotate both thighs so that your center of your kneecaps are aligned with the middle toes. Knees and toes are turned out to the same degree as you bend your knees and sink your hips. You might choose to grab a block or two to sit on like a stool, or it might feel comfortable enough to hover your pelvis. So find what works for you, where you're not stressing out your knees or any part of your body, and use your arms to splay out your inner thighs, sink your hips, root your feet, but lift up, navel towards heart, heart and crown towards the sky, relaxing the shoulders. And then join the hands together at the heart. This can be a helpful posture to stimulate digestion besides opening the hips. It's called Malasana. It's a version of a squat. Breath flowing here. Long inhales, balanced exhales. You might notice that we're focusing on grounding postures today, helping to activate your root energy center or Muladhara chakra. When you finish this next breath, place your hands in front of you, parallel your feet, and fold forward. Press into the ground as shins. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Take a vinyasa or step directly to downward dog, your choice. When you arrive in downward dog, allow a moment to feel into the space across your shoulder blades, throughout your neck, the rest of your spine, grounding down through the heels. Find stability and openness in this posture for a few more breaths. Moving the energy up, tailbone towards the sky and rear wall, rooting the energy down through finger spread, heels too. Now as you keep your hips leveled, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. As you exhale, contract your belly and round your back like cat pose, bending your right knee high up towards your nose. Then step the foot lightly beside your right thumb and spin your back heel down, facing forward. Inhale, rise up to warrior one again. Let's stay a little longer this time as you bend the right knee just over the heel. Draw your right thigh bone back deeper into the hip socket while straightening your back leg, pressing the outer left heel into the floor. Spin your inner left thigh towards your rear wall, dropping your tailbone and lifting your frontal hip bones as you square your hips forward and raise the arms up. Relaxing the shoulders down and straightening your arms, you might join the hands or not. Steady your gaze on one spot, and let's listen to a few more breaths in Virabhadrasana 1. Keep bending the front knee right above the right heel while straightening the left leg and rotating the left outer hip forward. Backstroke your arms and interlace your fingers behind your lower back. Hugging your elbows closer together, broaden your chest. Send the shoulders down your back and hug in your front ribs, activating the belly. Tilt your torso forward to hover your belly over your right thigh, Degasana. Look on the ground ahead of your right foot to help lengthen your neck, drawing the shoulder blades down your back, and keep scissoring your right hip back, turning the left hip forward. Moving into warrior three, you could choose to join your hands at your heart or reach your fingertips down for blocks or the floor. Shift your weight entirely into your right foot and flexing your left foot, tilt your torso forward, parallel to the floor. Raising the left leg parallel to the floor. Rotate your inner left thigh towards the ceiling and draw your right outer hip back as you reach your sternum forward. Virabhadrasana 3. You might opt to open the arms apart, reach them overhead. Observe your breathing here and how you're regulating prana, life force energy, by regulating your breath. Slowly step back into crescent lunge, landing on the ball of your left foot. Lower your back knee to the floor, and let's prepare for a twisting lunge. With your right knee stacked right above the right heel, cup the top of your right thigh with your right hand, and lift the left arm. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Keep the pelvis still, and as you exhale, twist to your right at your waistline. Either lower your left hand on the inside of your front leg, directly under your shoulder on a block or the floor, raising the right arm up, or hook the left elbow outside your right thigh, joining your hands in prayer, or opening your arms apart, or maybe coming into a bind if you practice that. to make sure your right foot entirely stays on the floor and your right knee continues to point forward. It doesn't start to buckle in towards you. You might opt to lift the back knee, coming into a high lunge, but make sure to keep your pelvis leveled on left and right sides. Twisting from the waist, not twisting at the pelvis. This is a variation of twisting side angle pose, or Parita Parsvakonasana. Let's listen to a few more breaths. Steady your gaze. Looking down at your right foot, frame it with your hands on blocks or the floor, and step your left foot about 5 inches forward, spinning the heel down and straightening your legs. Square your hips evenly to face forward as we set it for pyramid pose. As you inhale, lift your sternum forward and draw your shoulders back. As you exhale, keep your hips leveled and start to bow from your hips, firming in the belly, engaging your quadriceps, front muscles of your thighs. If your right hamstring feels pretty open, you want to go a little further, lift the ball of your right foot flexed and isometrically drag the heel back while extending your sternum forward. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Set your right foot down if it's lifted and step back to downward facing dog. Pause and breathe here. Keeping your hips leveled. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, step the foot, rounding the back. Step the foot beside your left thumb. Spin the right heel down and facing forward. Inhale, rise to warrior one. So bend your left knee right on top of the heel. Draw the left thigh bone back deeper into the hip socket while straightening your right leg, pressing the outer right heel firmly into the floor and spinning your inner right thigh towards your rear wall. Feel the orientation of your pelvis. At the same time, draw your tailbone downward, square your hips forward, and slightly lift your frontal hip bones. As you raise your arms, lengthen through the sides of your torso, but relax the shoulders down. If you can keep the arms straight here, maybe join the hands in prayer. Steady your gaze. A few more breaths in Virabhadrasana 1. Backstroke your arms and interlace your fingers with the opposite thumb and index finger on top. Broadening the chest, firm in the front ribs, and tilt forward to Degasana. Keep squaring the hips, gazing on the floor just ahead of your front foot. Deep, balanced breaths, helping to steady your mind and calm your body. Shift your weight forward and lifting the right leg. Flex the foot, choosing how you want to have your arms for warrior 3. Turn the right outer hip to face the ground and draw your left outer hip back while stretching your torso forward. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Gently step the ball of your right foot back into crescent lunge, then lower your back knee. Cup the top of your left thigh with your left hand and inhale, lengthen forward, prepare to twist. Choose the same variation if you can as you did on the first side, exhaling to the left. Lower the right hand or hook the elbow. Hands in prayer or arms apart or bind. Maybe coming into a high lunge in your twist. Squaring the hips and turning the rib cage, breath by breath. Parita Parsvakonasana, twisting side angle pose. Gaze at your left foot, then frame it with hands on blocks or the floor. Step your right foot 5 inches forward, shorter stance, dropping the heel, straightening the legs, and squaring the hips forward. Inhale, lift your sternum towards your front wall. Lengthen the spine. As you exhale, continue to fold, breath by breath. If your left hamstring feels pretty open, you might add on by lifting the ball of your left foot and flexing the foot, while isometrically dragging the heel back. Make sure that you're keeping your throat open, welcoming your breath. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Setting your left foot down, please step back to plank pose. And on an exhale, slowly lower to Sphinx pose all the way down. With elbows on the floor right under your shoulders, bring your knees as close together as you can. Let's open up the quadriceps and hip flexors a bit. So cross your left forearm in front of your chest and bend your right knee. Also opening your shoulder, backstroke your right arm and catch the big toe side of your right ankle or foot. Stabilize your lower back by not separating the knees wider than hips distance. Bring your right heel slightly to the outside of your right hip as you turn your chest completely to face forward. Relaxing your shoulders down for a few more breaths here. Rooting your pubic bone into the earth. On an exhale, release, come back to Sphinx pose and slide your knees closer together. Then cross your right forearm in front of your chest, bend your left knee and backstroke your left arm, catching the big toe side. Knees no wider than hips distance, ground your pubic bone, bring your left heel slightly to the outside of your left hip, and turn your chest to face forward, relaxing the shoulders down. A few more deep breaths. With an exhale, unwind. Lower your forehead to the floor and let's prepare for a last few back bends, starting with locust pose. So as you rest your forehead on the ground, slide your knees as close together as you can again. Ground your pubic bone, spread your toes, and press every toenail firmly into the earth. All these actions to stabilize your lower back. Bring the arms down by your sides, palms face down. Keep the tops of your feet pressing the ground as you inhale to coil your chest up, gently lifting your head. Look slightly down. Keep breathing as you lift the arms. And if your lower back feels free of any tension, you can lift the legs too, keeping them straight. Knees no wider than hips distance. Give yourself maybe another 5 full breaths before you drop everything and rest. This is locust pose. Option to open the arms apart, and by rolling the fronts of your shoulders back, turn the palms to face forward. If your lower back feels strong enough, you might bring the arms overhead too. Upper arms alongside the ears, plug the shoulder bones back, lifting from your chest, not your chin. Shalabhasana, locust pose. When you're ready, drop everything and rest for 3 breaths. Observing your body, your breath, your mind. The next back bend, you could choose to practice the same or join me in bow, Dhanurasana. Either way, slide your knees close together to start. For bow, bend both knees and catch your outer feet, pressing your pubic bone into the ground. Kick your feet away and pull them towards you. Again, try not to splay the knees wider than hips distance. Draw your shoulder bones back, press the shoulder blades down, and extend your heart forward. Feel the power of your legs. Give yourself another 5 breaths or so before you let go to rest. Bow pose, Dhanurasana. Rest for 3 breaths. Our last back bend, let's turn over onto our backs for bridge. As you lie on your back, you might like the lower back support of hugging the skinniest width of your block firmly between your knees and thighs. Bring the arms down by your sides to locate your heels with your fingertips. Have your heels where you could almost touch them, but not that close. Separating your feet about hips distance, parallel your feet and ground them in the backs of your shoulders. Prepare to lift your pelvis and stay lifted for 5 to 7 deep breaths. When you're ready, lift the pelvis up. Isometrically drag your heels back as you stretch the fronts of your thighs forward and spin your inner thighs slightly downward. Tilt your chin back to open your throat, then walk your upper arms closer together under your back ribs, maybe clasping your hands, but make sure the elbows stay straight. Setu Bandha Sharvangasana, bridge pose. When you're ready to come down with an exhalation, slowly lower upper back, middle back, tailbone last. When your pelvis meets the ground, put the block aside and windshield wiper your shins side to side to your breath pace. Then find your way up to sit so we can practice one more twist, sitting upright. Extending your right leg forward, step your left foot on the ground, either in front of your left. So extending your left leg forward. Let's start with that. Bend your right knee and step your right foot in front of your right hip or outside of your left knee. You might also bend the left knee. Place the right hand behind your pelvis and raise your left arm up. Root your sitting bones down and lift up tall to your spine as you breathe in. Exhaling, twist to your right and lower your left arm to hold your top leg or to hook your elbow outside of that thigh. Continue as you breathe in to press into the ground below and lift your spine. Parallel your chin to the ground. As you exhale, rotate your rib cage, relax the shoulders. A few more breaths. So when promoting digestion, you want to twist to your right first when you're sitting up, and then to the left. On an exhale, unwind your spine and straighten your right leg forward. Turn out your left thigh and bring the sole of the foot high on the inner thigh. You might like to use a strap around the ball of your right foot with 2 hands holding it. Janu Shirshasana. Flex the right foot, root your sitting bones, and sit tall as you breathe in. Extend your sternum towards your right pinky toe as you're folding forward. Head to knee pose, Janu Shirshasana. Press your pelvis down and inhale, lift from your chest. Let's extend the right leg forward. Step the left foot in front of the left hip or outside the knee. Try to set up the same way in the twist as you did on the first side. Place the left hand behind your pelvis and raise your right arm. Root your sitting bones, breathe in and sit tall. Breathe out, twist to the left. Lower your right arm, maybe hook the elbow. And keep breathing and twisting. On an exhale, unwind your spine. Straighten your left leg forward. Turn out the right thigh. Bring the sole of that foot high on the inner left thigh. Maybe use a strap around the ball of your left foot, holding the strap with 2 hands. Root your sitting bones, flex the left foot, and breathe in, sit tall. Breathe out, aim your sternum towards your left pinky toe as you fold forward. Janu Shirshasana. Press down through your pelvis, lead with your chest, inhale to rise. Now please find a comfortable way to sit as we practice one more breathing technique or pranayama to help us tune inward, prepare for shavasana and meditation, as well as help balance the left and right hemispheres of your brain and ground. So this breathing technique is called Nodi Shodhana, or alternate nostril pranayama. So sit in a way that you can feel relaxed, grounded, body is open for the breath. Rest your left hand in a mudra of your choice on your lap. Pran mudra looks like a peace sign, cultivates life force energy, palm face up. Or grounding mudra, thumb and index finger to touch, chin mudra, palm face down. Right hand, place it in Vishnu mudra, sticking out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger. Continue to breathe with the lips closed, soft, slow breaths. Make sure the breath is not forceful or loud. So the right thumb will close the right nostril, and the right pinky and ring will close the left nostril. Alternate nostril breathing. Let's take 3 cycles together and 2 cycles on your own. Prepare by emptying this breath. Hold it out. Right thumb, close right nostril. Inhale left. Hold the breath. Close left. Exhale right. Hold the breath. Inhale right. Hold. Close right. Exhale left. Hold. That's the first cycle. Cycle 2, inhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Cycle 3. Inhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Close left. Exhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Inhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Close right. Exhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Continue 2 more cycles. you finish, sit for a moment and observe as you breathe naturally. Begin to lower your body into your final resting pose before meditation, corpse pose, Shavasana. Lying down as you stretch your legs out. Maybe turn the palms up to relax the shoulders on the floor, closing your eyes and breathing naturally. We'll be here for a few minutes. Resting where you are a little bit longer and keeping your eyes closed. Bring mindful awareness to your physical body and observe its feedback from your practice. Gently begin to wake up your body with easy movements. Gradually turn over to your right side and rest your head on your arm, pausing there. Place your attention on the breath, naturally flowing. And observe how you feel energetically right now. Then pressing your hands into the floor, lift your body up to a comfortable seat for 5 minutes of sitting in meditation. Sitting grounded, alert, at ease. Place your hands in a mudra that you choose. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze on one spot. Let's begin. Land your awareness on the breath as it easily and naturally comes and goes. Sense the depths of consciousness available when you focus. When you choose to be fully present. If you find moments of being caught up in the mind, come back to a bodily sensation that bridges your awareness to the present rather than the mind stories. If your eyes are closed, keep them closed, but begin to expand your awareness from internal to external, back to your physical body as a whole. And observe now how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. You might join your palms together at your heart and think of something you feel gratitude for. Then recall your intention for this practice. And remember to whom or what you dedicated today's practice to. Maybe see them now receiving benefit from your effort. Let's close the practice chanting together 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. Bowing in towards your heart center, acknowledge the light within you. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.